Happy birthday, Dad. Happy 69th birthday, James E. Lee. I wish I could text you and tell you and get a funny response from you, I'm sure. I wish I could call you just to hear your voice and feel that smile on the other end. I wish I could Zoom you just to see your smile. He was a son. He was a brother. He was a father, a dad, a best friend, a teacher, a mentor, and most definitely a positive motivator for all. My father passed this year, April 19th, 2020, due to complications of COVID. That is one of the hardest things I've ever had to go through. I've been blessed to not have traumatic situations happen in my life like that. My father passing and seeing him pass was and is the hardest things I ever had to deal with. It was horrific for me, emotionally, physically, mentally. It was really horrific. But my family was there to support me. My friends and family were there to support me. I love you, Dad. Happy birthday. This is one of the deer blinds that we would get in, and we would laugh, joke, talk about life. We would sit here and look, supposed to be watching for deer, but he would be asleep sometimes, catch him sleeping. We had a good time. He would come down 2 to 3 weeks, and we would just talk, get to know each other. It's a certain point in an adult's life where they understand that their children are doing fine and they'll be okay. And I think he realized that me and my siblings were doing okay, and he didn't have to be the parent. He could be the friend. This is where we talked about starting this small channel. He was a motivator. He always asked, hey, you do enough hunting and fishing that you should record this. And this was way back when, and I started this channel on my birthday because of him. He said, hey, you do enough hunting and fishing that you can share it with other people, and this was discussed in here. In this deer blind, is that deer blind, and he said, hey, start recording. He was the first person that recorded one of my hunts. He was the first one. It's kind of funny recording, but he was the first one to record one of my hunts. I'm in beautiful South Texas, where my dad would come around this time and hunt really hard with me 2 or 3 weeks out of the month. In this field is where I killed my first deer. In this field where he killed his first deer. Lots of good memories that I hold. A lot of conversations that, like I said earlier, a lot of conversations that we held and talked about. This is a special place. After he passed, I probably spent another couple days here, just good memories, enjoying the environment, thinking about him. Good shot. my dad would be tickled to see himself on a hunting video. What you saw was his first deer using one of my guns. After he shot the deer and the deer went down, I was super excited for him. I said, "Great shot, Dad." And he was excited as well. The next year I put together a rifle for him that was engraved that said, "Great shot, Dad," along with his name, James E. Lee. Then you see me filming hunts for him. He got really good shooting. A lot of practicing. He would go with my cousin when they were in Michigan, and then with some of his friends. He always liked one of the guns that I used, and because it had a light trigger. And he's like, "I want one just like that. I want one just like that." So for a birthday gift this year, I put together a gun for him that had a light trigger, and that was the last 3 pictures of this part. Happy birthday, Dad. In 2016, 2017, my dad had already harvested a couple deer with his rifle and wanted to try something new. So I got us crossbows. So with archery, you have to be pretty close, 15 to 30 yards away from the animal for a decent shot. You're either sitting on the ground level in a ground blind, or you're sitting high up in a tree. So in the last 2 pictures, I'm sitting about 50 yards across from my dad. My feet are in the middle of us, and we're about 40, maybe 50 feet up in the air. He always felt that if I did it, he can do it too. And pretty much if somebody else did it, he can do it too. Growing up, I felt my dad was cocky. Very cocky. But in my late 20s and early 30s and lots of life lessons, I realized that he was confident. Confident and not cocky. He would occasionally send me clippings or handwrite stuff out. For instance, 10 things confident people do differently. 4 steps you can embrace to change your luck. Things that what millionaires do. You see those things all the time. 10 things millionaires do. 10 things the rich people do. 10 things smart people do. Things like that. And you just kind of sit down there and read them. Like people exercise. They don't seek attention. Just stuff like that. He was a motivator, and he motivated me to do stuff. "Oh, you can do it. Try it." Like I said, I started this channel because he motivated me. He was my biggest cheerleader. That's what I missed a lot. And I challenge you to motivate your spouse, motivate your brother or sister, your co-worker, tell them they're doing a great job. Just hearing "I love you" is motivation as well. And with that "I love you," he was a family man. He loved being a dad. He loved being a brother. He loved being a granddad. He definitely loved being a deacon with his church family. That was James E. Lee.
In this birthday tribute video for our dad, James Lee, we know that normally this would be the time of the year where you would go to spend with James hunting, but everything is different, and of course not like anything we would imagine. So everyone is celebrating differently this year, and we do know that you are looking down on us smiling.
this is James. I'm not able to take your call at present. If you would please leave your name, telephone number, and a brief message. I'll return your call at my earliest convenience. Thank you.